because, of course, there are no secrets to a viral. But what I am here to tell you today is the best practices for making video content that works. We'll have one or two examples, and we'll also have a few highlighting some of the traps that brands sometimes fall into and how to avoid. So, a little bit of background on me. I used to work in advertising, just as online is becoming very, very popular, but I worked in a traditional agency. And in a traditional agency, if you wanted to get your message across, this was say like 2004, 2005, the creatives would start off and say, we open on a white beach in the Caribbean. And this is because every single creative wanted to go to the Caribbean, and we spent loads and loads of money, and we came out with a great TV ad that would run for 2 years, and that's how the world worked back then. But then, the internet changed everything, obviously, as we all know. And when you used to sit down in the 80s, and you sat on your couch, and you watched your TV in front of you, the ads came towards you. It was like passive viewing. Whereas now we're all online and we're looking at loads of different screens and we have a choice. No one's going to shout down to us about what nappies to buy or what drinks, what soft drinks to drink. If you're going to watch something online, you have a choice. So this is why you need to make the stuff that you are looking at online, it has to be useful, entertaining, or engaging. I thought the best way to show this would be with an example. So this example actually isn't one of our own pieces, it's an ad for Fixident. And I think I'll show it first and then we'll discuss it afterwards. This is a cut down version of this ad, because it's actually 5 minutes long, so this is a 1.5 minute version.
It's not really a line. It's really important for a line to have a full set of teeth that are usable. Aslan is a 9-year-old white male lion. He's always had a bit of a tricky character. But since he broke his canines, it's got a lot worse. He's become more aloof. He's become more agitated, more aggressive. He's isolates himself from the crowd, and yeah, he's just a different cat. The reason why I can run around with these lions and be accepted amongst them is because I have a relationship with them. I've never, for one moment, treated them as domesticated animals. I've always used them around, I've always learned. The only thing I know about is how the lion behaves. It's wrong. Came up when Dixon came along and offered to help out. So it was actually perfect timing. Suddenly he's going to wake up and visit a few days. He's not going to have those pain sensations anymore.
That was sweet, just like.
Hopefully, a man in the mouth and the ability to bite nicely. So he's not going to feel so insecure. So it's always at the point whereby I think he's ready to be reintroduced back to his roots. I think the other lions were happy to see him back. Within a short period of time, they're all lying together and licking each other and sleeping amongst each other. We're going to have a happy cry. The king's back.
So, sorry, that was a little bit difficult to hear, but I advise anyone to watch it online. It's about 5 minutes long. But the crucial point of this is Fixident was the brand, and they wanted to talk about dentures. So what they could have done was gone out and just talked about the science of it, or showed some human who had dentures, which is what they usually did in the TV ads. But instead they took a really interesting story of a lion and showed what difference those dentures made to his life. But it was just a very engaging story. It was, set in South Africa about a lion, very good-looking guy who's training them. It's very, very different to your stereotypical Fixident TV ad. So what they did was, rather than shouting about their message, they found a story that they could weave their message into, and that's the big difference. What they got with this is 14 million plus views on social media. But apart from that, they got a lot of write-ups, it's still being spoken about even 2 years on since it came out. So I suppose the big point about this is with ad blockers and with Facebook algorithms and 300 hours of YouTube, 300 hours of footage uploaded to YouTube every minute, only really entertaining, useful or inspiring content is going to work with your customers. So we have a motto in Long-Term Inspire that it's not making people like stuff, it's making stuff people like. And that's the essential difference between the old world and the new world. So, how to make stuff that people like. So you had your ad agency who are really good at strategy, and that's what it was all about before the entertainment section needed to come into it. And then you have your TV stations where you have great stories, great documentaries. You have your production companies who produce really good and high value videos or even TV shows. And then you also have your media agencies which look at segmenting your audience, knowing your audience, and very importantly at the moment, which I'm sure you all know here, is spend on distribution. With 300 hours uploaded every minute, every brand, every video will need a spend behind it at this stage. So what you need in the middle is something that brings the strategy of advertising, the story that broadcasters use, the production values of a production company, and still knowing your audience from the type of work that a media agency would do. So what about videos? Because there's so many of them online. Well, what we do is we borrowed the Google triangle, which is all about defining videos and which sections they go into. So you have at the bottom you have your help videos. We actually really dislike the word video because it sounds like something in VHS, but there isn't really an alternative to it at the moment. What we're talking about when we say video is something that promotes your marketing strategy. So your help videos would be how to fix your iPhone. They're necessary videos. There's not a huge amount of time or even production values put into them, but they're very, very important for people who are already know your brand and are on your site and social media. Then you have your hub videos, which is a little bit wider, a little bit more time spent on these. They kind of show a little bit more about your brand and what your brand is about. Again, they're still aimed at getting people who are already in your sales funnel across the line. But at the very top, you have your hero videos, which are broad general awareness of your brand. They're the go big moments. The important thing about when you categorize or hero, hub, or help is that everything that you put out online, every video that you put out online should be relevant. And I know Ian was talking about this in the last talk about how, it's not about talking about yourself as a brand, it's about reaching other people. So make sure you're not putting out an event video about how all your staff got on really, really well. Because unless you're just doing that internally, that's fine, but no one outside the company is interested in that. So no matter what you're putting out, make sure it's entertaining, useful, or inspiring. So, proving it. The great thing about video is that, as opposed to TV ads, is that we can track so much about where the video goes, how it's shared. And I suppose, I'm not going to go through all of this now because we're probably running out of time, but there are so many ways that you can, I know we talked about views on the Fixident video, but there are so many other things that you can use in order to realise what exactly your video has done for your brand. I'm running out of time a bit, so we can always talk about this another time if you want to contact me. Finally, in the last few minutes, I'm going to leave you with one of our own videos, which was Ford asked us to make a video about football because the Euros are coming up. But unfortunately, they're not one of the sponsors of the Euros, so they couldn't have Euros mentioned in it. So the brief was to make a video about about football that doesn't mention the Euros. So coming up to the Euros. So what we really needed to do was, you wanted to start off with something that's really entertaining to viewers and something that they're enjoying, but the necessity was to weave the brand and its importance into that video. So I'll leave you with this.
Hold on a minute. These are the facts. It was all very different then.
That's it, just an example of how you need to start with a story that entertains your viewers and weave your brand message into that. Okay? Thank you. That's it. Thank you.